Hi, my name is Carl Corcoran. I'm the course director at the MA in Songwriting at the Irish World Academy of Music and Dance, located on the beautiful campus of the University of Limerick. It's a great pleasure to be with you today to discuss my favorite topic, songwriting. I can't guarantee that we're going to write a hit song or that I could tell you how, but perhaps I can give you a little insight into what's involved in this wonderful process that we find ourselves immersed in. My own experience in the business and in this field has been wide and varied over 4 decades. In the mid 70s, I recorded 3 albums for EMI under the name of singer-songwriter Jamie Stone, critically acclaimed albums and award-winning albums. In the late 70s, I moved to America, where I lived for 20 years and immersed myself in various elements and aspects of the music business, including music publishing, music management, songwriting, performance, and broadcasting. In the late 90s, I came home to Ireland and became involved with RTE Radio, both on Radio 1 and on RTE Lyric FM. For 10 of the 20 years that I was in radio in Ireland, I curated and presented a program called The Blue of the Night, late night on Lyric, which, amongst other genres, highlighted singer-songwriters. And in 2017, I took on the role of course director for the MA at the Academy. The MA is a full-time 1-year postgrad course which focuses on the artistic practice of songwriting with opportunities to perform and record work. It allows the students to delve into their arts practice, songwriting, by reflection, introspection, and inspection. This is a space where students can explore and be exposed to a range of writing techniques while having the dedicated time and resources and support to develop their own body of work. It's done through a combination of solo work and collaboration with a community of fellow songwriters, along with guidance from songwriting mentors of the highest caliber. The list of visiting tutors to the Academy is a veritable who's who in the Irish and international songwriting community, along with talented faculty members who guide and encourage the students to develop a strong sense of their individual voice. Their songwriting skills are honed through supportive and reflective critique. Enough about that. What I'm going to attempt to do today is to give you a crash course in the practice or craft of songwriting. The MA course is not so much an explanation of how we do it, although we do go into that. It's more why we do it. Today, it's all about how we do it. And I'm going to take a look at some of the techniques and approaches to songwriting. Do hope you enjoy, and I hope you get some value out of what you'll see. The craft of writing a song. There's no surefire way of doing it. Every songwriter adopts a different technique, and every song is a new experience. But what I'd like to try to do here is to show you some of the frequently used templates and techniques that some writers use. Songwriters are privileged in having a unique gift, the opportunity to touch people's lives, to touch people's hearts, and through their hearts we can influence people's minds. Isn't it wonderful to think that we can bring peace and joy to the listener? Isn't it wonderful to think that we can console people with our thoughts and words? And it's equally wonderful to think that we can inspire others to greater things by shedding a spotlight on issues of society, issues of common good, and issues of the heart and soul. Okay, so you want to write a song. Coming up shortly, 5 easy steps to follow in that process. But first, let's consider these points. Some songs are written from a lyrical starting point, others the result of musical doodling on your instrument of choice, where a melody will emerge and the lyrics can be attached later. Sometimes it happens simultaneously on the rare occasion when we're lucky enough that the words and music fall into your lap. Many songwriters believe that they are inspired by a higher source, divine inspiration. Bob Dylan said that he didn't write songs, he simply wrote them down, and that if he didn't, somebody else would. Our own Brendan Graham believed that we are the conduits through which the song passes, notwithstanding the hard work that must go into the structure and shape of that inspired work. Whatever the belief, a knowledge of structure and form are essential. And today we're going to touch on some of that in the hope that once you have familiarized yourself with the particular structure and format, the inspiration will follow. 5 easy steps in writing a song. Step 1, title and subject matter. Ask yourself the 5 W's and actually 1 H. Think about the subject of your song. What is it about? Who are the main characters in it? Where did they come from? Where are you hoping they'll arrive at the end of the song? And how did they get here? What are they looking for? What do they want to achieve? Those 5 W's: what, who, why, where, and when. And that extra, how. Answer those basic questions and the narrative of your song will start to emerge. Perhaps a fast track in this process might be to establish the title of the song. What do you think sums up the heart of your song's message? You need to come up with the subject of your song. A good way is to brainstorm song titles. Just throw them down. See what ones jump out at you. Another great way to identify what the song is about is to write a paragraph or 2 of prose outlining what the song is about. Step 2, brainstorm associated ideas. Here you want to brainstorm possible lyrics and associated ideas and phrases. Now, there are many ways to get inspiration for lyrical ideas. The best, of course, is observing what's going on around you. Newspaper stories are often a good source of inspiration. Films can provide that same inspiration. And of course, your own personal experience and emotions. So once you have established what this subject matter is, write down the keywords that are relevant to your story. One good way to expand your vocabulary is to use thesaurus, the songwriter's friend, for other words that you can use. The thesaurus is indeed your friend, as is a rhyming dictionary. You can also visit Google quotes on particular ideas and phrases. On the Google homepage, put in a search for quotes relating to a particular topic. It's a lovely way to get a poetic turn of phrase, but be careful here that you're not found guilty of plagiarism. Take the idea and put your own spin on it. The previously mentioned Brendan Graham, in a recent visit to my songwriters at the Academy, showed us his circle of chaos. For his song, You Raise Me Up, he placed the title, which he had established early on in the process, in the center of the circle. And out of that circle, he drew spoke-like lines and connectors where he wrote phrases and emotions that are key to the message and contents of the song. Look at some of those phrases he has in his chaotic chart. Summing idea down here in the bottom. When I am down and things are bad, you come and raise me up. On your shoulders over here to the right. Elevate. I can see. These are all key ideas that he used in his song. I use that same process in one of my songs, which I have to say is far from complete, but it gives you an idea of the visual. And visual for me is important as it clarifies the mental disarray that can sometimes exist. The song is simply called You, or You, and the brainstormed ideas are at the end of the spokes. See the relevant phrases, some of which I used, others not. Half, not whole, giving me strength. Damning voices, solid foundation, crumbling. Solid foundations crumbling, filled with fear. Tired runner needing sustenance. Feed my hunger. And here, divine love. The point of this song is all about, I suppose, support. And in this case, the divine or spiritual intervention is something that gives it an ambiguity. It's an important element of songwriting, and it's effective that there are different meanings to be taken from a lyric. You see the completed lyric here, or at least the work so far. Lyric, a place in my heart, a flowering of a seed once sown, a tired runner, like a runner tired of running. When I need the strength, I come to you. Down here we have, when I'm in my search for wings to fly above these earthly things, in my times of greatest doubt, damning voices drown me out. So that's the first iteration of the song. You see the phrases are that I took out of that circle. Give a listen and enjoy. As I say, it's not yet complete. There's a place deep in my heart, a place I'll always keep apart for you. In these times of great unknown, a flowering of a seed once sown is you. When all around me comes undone and heavy clouds block out the sun, like a runner tired of running, when I need the strength I come to you. There's a place deep in my soul where I am not half but whole, that's you. That's the place I want to be, the doorway to eternity with you. When those around are filled with fear, foundations built on disappear, and those once strong reduced to tears, when I need the strength I come to you. Search for wings to fly above those earthly things, in my times of greatest doubt, when damning voices drown me out, there's one truth that's ringing clear, that's why I run and need to hear from you. There's a place deep in my heart, a place I'll always keep apart for you. Step 3, structure. Let's talk about the structure. Currently, the most popular structure is verse, chorus, bridge, chorus. Therefore, a formula of A, B, C, B. That's the most common structure in pop songs of the past 50 or 60 years. Other popular structures, depending on the length of the song, are devoid of the bridge and simply run verse, verse, chorus, verse, and chorus. And that formula is A, B, A, B. Sometimes the verse, that's the A section, include what is called a pre-chorus, which is really a lead into the chorus, a building of tension to get to the chorus. And that often eliminates the need for a bridge. What's a bridge, you ask? The bridge is a relief from the tension that has built us in the listening experience and usually contains a different melodic soundscape or motif which brings you nicely back into the chorus. Simple? Well, maybe on paper. Here's a suggestion. Analyze the structures of your favorite songs. Are they verse, verse, chorus, and then bridge, or do they just repeat verses and choruses? Some songs don't have a chorus and use the technique of a refrain at the end of the verse. For example, my song You that we've just listened to has a refrain that simply repeats the word you, you, you. It doesn't have a chorus. So look at songs that you admire and like and see what their structure is. And so we move to step 4, fill your structure. So let's say that you've settled on the structure. It's important to clarify the contents of your design. What do you want to say in your verse? The first verse sets up the song. The second develops the plot or the story. The chorus is the payoff with a message or a phrase that will encapsulate the meaning of the song and usually contains the hook or, in often cases, the title. Paul Simon quoted, "It's very hard or very helpful to start with something that's true. If you start with something that's false, you're always covering your tracks. Something simple and true that has a lot of possibilities is a nice way to begin." Step 5, experiment with melody and chord structure. So this is the time to get into the music. At this stage, it really shouldn't be a concern of yours that it has to be the finished product. Far from it. Right now, it's more important to get something down in terms of chord progressions, rhyming patterns, and the all-important melody. But do keep in mind that nothing is carved in stone. Assuming that you have a basic knowledge of simple chord structures, and I stress simple because most songs are written with just a handful of chords. Your basic chord structures are as follows in the key of C: C, G, F, A minor, D minor, and maybe an adventurous E minor. In the key of G, these are G, D, C, E minor, and B minor. But let's not get too bogged down in the theory. Just noodle on your guitar or the piano, whatever is the instrument of your choice. Find the sweet sounding chord progressions and keep playing that sequence over and over again. You'd be amazed that a melody will emerge from this repetition. In comparing the songwriting craft with other art forms, I find a good analogy is sculpturing. The sculptor starts with a block of stone, and by chipping away, a shape emerges. The same with songwriting. Start with something, chip and polish until you have your Michelangelo. A masterpiece starts with a block of stone. A song starts with an empty page, and songs emerge as you slowly and sometimes painfully chip away. It can be tedious, but there is no greater joy than arriving at your final destination. A completed song. And a further joy is when that song means something to the listener or moves them in some way. There are lots of other elements to be considered, too many to go into in any great detail here, but consider these as examples. Writing a strong chorus. The chorus is the heart of the song. It's the part of the song where your listener can't wait to get to. That catchy chorus with a melodic and lyrical hook. It's also a release of tension that you have built up in the chorus. You're pulling on that rubber band, and that chorus, the song's chorus, is a relief from that tension. The chorus can be more memorable if it's emotionally charged and moving as well. A chorus can be angry, sad, affectionate, playful. Any state of mind can inspire a song, and indeed a chorus. Melody is crucial, and a contrast has to exist between the melody of the verse and the chorus. Your lyrics are the message you want to communicate to the listener. In popular songs, it's a key component that the listener feels what you are saying as their feelings. You're not writing your diary. You want to write the listener's diary. The listener wants to feel that the song they're listening to is not so much how you feel, but it's how they feel. Make your song relevant. In a recent songwriting blog from the American Songwriting Competition website, they say, and I quote, "Obviously, as writers and artists, we have a responsibility to reflect the trouble in the world around us. Times of trouble, war, disease, hunger, and hate. But isn't it just as important to highlight the love, compassion, simple moments of trust, help, hope, and success?" As a songwriting exercise, try making a list of the little things that have kept you motivated, have kept you inspired, have kept you happy, or brought you peace of mind during these difficult times. Keep a section in your title book or idea journal, which I recommend you start and keep with you, specifically for a daily dose of positivity. See if you can practice a heightened awareness for the good things that we often take for granted, like a compliment from a friend, or birds chirping in the morning, or a warm coat when it's cold outside. Write them all down. Make notes. Make notes of phrases. Make notes of titles. Which brings us to journaling or taking notes. As a songwriter, I find it rewarding to carry a notebook, or more recently, I use the memo app in the phone just to record thoughts, titles, observations. These can be a great source of inspiration at a time when you need to spark that flame. There are lots of books also, and websites too, where you can observe how others do it. It's always a good way. In fact, this is what we do in the Academy, is we bring renowned songwriters in to discuss and share their process. And you'd be surprised how similar we all are, and in other ways, how differently each writer approaches their craft. Songwriting is all about practice, but it's a wonderful world of creativity, expression, sharing, and if you're lucky, inspiration or consolation to others. We all get stuck, and there are techniques to get us out of these ruts, which I won't go into now, but don't feel that you are alone. We all suffer from such writer's blocks. There's nothing more frightening than an empty page. So get over that fear. Force yourself through that obstacle. Getting something down is the important thing. And going back later to edit or rewrite will clean up a lot of the weak elements. At this point, you will be wearing a different hat, that of editor. So don't get disheartened if you get distracted or something takes you away from your creative moment. Sometimes life gets in the way, and perhaps it's appropriate to close with a quote on that matter from one of the greats, John Lennon, from his song Beautiful Boy. "Life is what happens to you while you're busy making other plans. But then remember that life and the living of it is actually our greatest inspiration. As songwriters, we are writing observations about life, and the more that our songs reflect real life, the better the song will be." So, if you wish to know more, come and talk to us at the Academy, or better still, join us on the Masters, where you will find your true voice, your songwriting voice, as well as your physical sounding voice. If you have a desire to write, you have been gifted with a unique opportunity to communicate through song. Be sure to answer that call. Good luck and thank you.